We have now seen sensation, which gives the robot a sense of discomfort, comfort, or neutral. We compared this to what Buddha calls Vedanā. We have also seen perception, the module that allows the robot to retrieve raw data and interpret it into meaningful information. We compared this to Saññā. Then we installed the mental formation module, which acts like a decision-making engine, generating logic paths and defining how the responses will be. This plays an important role in what we call action, or karma. We compared this to sankhara. Now at this stage, we have all the necessary modules. But something still feels incomplete. The robot can receive signals. It can label them. It can even prepare responses. But it still feels like it's not really experiencing anything. Let's look carefully. Light hits the camera. Sound contacts the microphone. A memory packet is triggered internally. All the hardware is ready. All the modules are ready. But unless there is a successful handshake, nothing is actually known. So now we introduce the final module. It only comes into play when there is a valid connection between the hardware, like the eye or camera, the incoming signal like light or sound, and the system's ability to receive the signal. When these conditions meet, there is a successful handshake, and at the exact moment, the system becomes aware of the stimulus. This moment of awareness, this successful handshake, this is what we compare to what Buddha calls Viññāṇa. Very important point here. Viññāṇa is not the ping. It is not the scanning process. It is not the system trying to detect signals. It is the result of successful handshake. No handshake, no awareness. No contact, no knowing. And also, it is not something continuous. It is not a permanent observer sitting somewhere inside the system. It is not a core process that runs all the time. It only arises moment by moment, each time there is a successful handshake. And in that same moment, the signal tone module registers pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. The perception module labels and retrieves patterns. The mental formation module starts building response logic. All of this happens together very fast. So fast that it feels like one continuous experience, but in reality, it is just a rapid series of successful handshakes. Now we have all the 5 components working together. Rūpa, the hardware. Vedanā, the signal tone module. Saññā, the labeling module. Sankhara, the response decision module. Viññāṇa, the awareness at successful handshake. And if we observe carefully, we are not functioning very differently. Not as a fixed self, but as a system of modules operating together through continuous contact and response. In simple terms, there is no fixed or permanent self inside that is waiting to hear or see, or even form set of responses to react. Let's take a simple example. Someone shouts at you. Sound waves are generated. They travel through the air. They make contact with your hearing organs. That signal is then converted into data and sent into the brain. The mind retrieves patterns from memory, from neurons or stored information, and starts preparing possible responses. Thoughts arise, intentions form, bodily reactions may begin. Even chemical changes in the body can happen. And then, based on different conditions, like past behavior patterns, habits, or tendencies, a response happens. It could be anger, it could be calm, it could be just letting go. The more you respond with anger, the same tendency increases the likelihood of reacting with anger again in the future. And if you train yourself to let go, you begin to form new habits. Over time, this raises the tendency to not respond with anger. And as you may have heard before, happy mind, happy body. So when there is an unpleasant response, the body aligns with the mind and releases associated chemicals. And over time, this can affect the body in a negative way. If we look carefully at this whole process, there is no fixed entity inside controlling everything. There is just a chain of processes, inputs coming in, being processed, and responses being generated. So we can now see that there is no permanent knower. Knowing happens momentarily at each process. Knowing is part of the process. There is no permanent self. In the same way, Buddha says, there is no permanent self or soul that is dedicated to knowing the world. Knowing is just part of a microprocess. And this ends all the required software installation for the robot. And the robot can now function just like a human. And we can see that the robot can surely behave just like a human with all the necessary software that we have just installed. Amazing, isn't it? How can a man 2,600 years back reverse engineer the process of our existence and explain into such a very detailed, systematic way? We humans think we are smart. We think science is advanced, which may be true at hardware level or body parts. But less do we know about the mind or the source code, how it actually works. In later episodes, we will learn techniques Buddha teaches us to observe our mind, to use the existing code to enhance our own code and patch it live, and help us fully understand our true existence, and help us exit this endless loop and liberate us, free us from all the suffering by exiting the program. See you later in the next episode. Bye.